Hey, so in this video, I'm just going to be going over some of the basics with using a virtual environment in Python. So to get started, you're going to want to open a new terminal instance. And by the way, I'm on Mac. So for any of you Windows users, whenever I say terminal, I just mean PowerShell for you. So I'm in VS Code here. So I could go open a new terminal like this, and a little terminal pops up. Or I could use my terminal app, which I'll use for example's sake. And to start, a lot of you are probably wondering, hey, why do I even need the virtual environment? Why can't I just work out of my global environment? You can work out of your global environment. I just strongly recommend using a virtual environment. And the reason is, I'll show you real quick. So if I do a pip freeze, I could see my current global Python environment. And you can see there's a lot of stuff in here, a lot of junk. A lot of this is from, the past when I would just dump everything into my global environment without thinking about it. And this can create some serious problems when you're working on multiple projects that are all using the same library. So for example, let's say I'm working on a project and it's using this Z standard library down here, and it needs version 0.22.0. It can't work with any other version. And then, a month later, I go to start another project, and it's also using Z standard, but this one requires version 0.23.0. So whenever I'm working on project B, I'm going to have to update Z standard to the new version, and then whenever I go back to the first project, I'm going to have to go and reinstall Z standard on 0.22.0. So it just kind of creates, massive headaches when you're doing that. And that's just an example of one package. There's going to be a lot of conflicts between projects if you're just working on the virtual, or if you're just working in the global environment. So that's kind of where virtual environments come in. It just really helps to get your configuration really consolidated between projects. So to get started with creating a virtual environment, you're going to want to first navigate into your directory here. So I made an example directory, and once you're in your project directory, you can see I have a couple CSVs and a Jupyter notebook here. What you're going to want to do is run this command here, Python 3 -m venv, and then you can name your virtual environment whatever you want. I'll name it ABC here. And once you run that, it'll take a second. And you can see there's a new directory called ABC, which is my virtual environment. So after that, you're going to want to activate your virtual environment. This will be different between Mac and Windows machines. On a Mac, you'd want to do source, your name of the virtual environment, /bin/activate. For Windows users, I'll put a message somewhere on the screen telling you how. And for Windows users, you might also need to run your PowerShell instance as administrator to do this. So once you do this, it should put the name of your virtual environment in parentheses here, and that just tells you that the virtual environment is now activated. And now if we do a pip freeze, you could see that there is nothing in this virtual environment. It's fully empty, and it's open to install whatever you want without breaking some of your other projects. So now we can go back to VS Code here, and VS Code has automatically selected my environment as this new virtual environment. If you go here, you could see that I do have a couple Python environments, but it's recommending that I use the virtual environment, which is good. In other IDEs like PyCharm, it should be pretty similar. So you just need to make sure you select that new virtual environment you created, so everything runs in that. And now if we were to run this, oh, and also you might get this message. If you get it, just click install. And then it'll take a second to install. So now when we run this code block, we're getting a module not found error, no module named SciPy. And this is because we're in a brand new environment with nothing installed. So to get SciPy, we're going to want to go back to this terminal instance and do a pip install SciPy. And as you can see here, along with SciPy, NumPy was also installed. So now we have both this and this, but now we're missing matplotlib. So we're going to want to do pip install matplotlib, and that'll also take a second. So now we have both of those packages in our virtual environment. So we could go ahead and run this code chunk now, and this will probably take a second to run. So once this is done running, you can see it executed fully. And now we have all three of these packages. So if I were to come back into here and do a pip freeze, you could see that some of these packages do come with a lot of other stuff. And also that install message I hit probably install a lot of this. But there's a bunch of stuff in here now. And we can see, we have SciPy, we have NumPy, we have matplotlib. It has everything that we need. So now we could go ahead and run all this code just as we want. And once you're done with this, you could go ahead and deactivate your virtual environment. And if you were to go ahead and reactivate it and do a pip freeze again, you could see that everything's still the same. Nothing changes between activations of your virtual environment. And then also, if the assignment has a requirements.txt as a requirement in the submission, you could go ahead and pip freeze and put it into a requirements.txt file, and then go ahead and cat that. And you could see that the requirements.txt is now full of all this, which means that anybody can go and replicate your environment. And yeah, those are kind of the basics. If you're running into issues with anything, just send me an email or go to my office hours, and I'll be happy to help you.